Hello and welcome to everyone. Today I am going to show you an Excel automation for the computation of course outcomes and contribution of the course outcomes for the attainment of program outcomes using this particular Excel workbook. I have created it using Microsoft Excel 2016 and you need at least Microsoft Excel 2010 to use all the features that are available in this workbook. I am using macro enabled format, so to work with you need to enable macros in your Microsoft Excel. To enable macros in your Excel, you can go to File, then go to Options, then go to Trust Center, then go to Trust Center Settings, go to Macro Settings, then enable this particular option and also enable this option, then click on OK, again click on OK, and you can save the settings. And this is the one-time setting you need to do in your Excel. This workbook consists of total 7 sheets and all the sheets can be easily printed on A4 size papers without any modifications, or you can save it in PDF format or written in the Excel format itself. The first sheet is named as the assessment form and it has 3 pages in it. This is the main sheet where you need to do all your settings and where you get your final attainments. The remaining 6 sheets are the just annexure to this main sheet. Now I will quickly take you through these sheets. This can be the common format for all the departments. So first of all you need to select your department. I am selecting Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Then you need to type your program name. My program is BE in Electronics and Communication Engineering. Then I will select the batch of the students. I am selecting 2019-23 batch, that is 2019 is input and 2023 output, and I am selecting the present academic year, that is 2022-23 is the present academic year, and semester is 7th semester, and select the section. For me there is no sections, so I will select not applicable. Then course code as per the university is 18EC 733 and course code as per NBA is C403. My course is digital image processing. We need to type this name and type the staff in charge name. Now you can type or copy paste your course outcomes here, and when you type your course outcomes, the course outcome number will automatically appear here. As per NBA, the number of course outcomes is around 6. The number of course outcomes for a course is expected to be around 6. And also you need to type the RBT, revised Bloom's taxonomy, corresponding to the course outcome, maybe L2, L3, L4, L5, like this. The next step is to specify the correlation between course outcomes and the program outcomes. You can write 1, 2 or 3. So 1 indicates the correlation is low or slight correlation. 2 indicates moderate correlation between the course outcome and the program outcome, particular program outcome, and 3 indicates substantial or high correlation between the course outcome and the particular program outcome. So I'm going to enter the correlation values here. You can have any correlations, but you should have proper justification for your entries. Now the average of these correlations will come here, which is helpful for gap identification. Next, you need to indicate the correlation between course outcomes and program specific outcomes. This is the important section where we need to do our settings. All the course outcomes that we have defined should be measurable. Okay, these are the different tools to measure the course outcomes: semester and exams, continuous internal evaluation test, assignments, quiz are the different tools to measure the outcome of a course. For these tools, we are setting a target. We can set equal target for all the tools, or you can set different targets for the tools. In this case, we have set 35% of marks is the target in case of semester and exams, and 70% of the marks is the target for continuous internal evaluation test. Similarly, 80% for assignment and 80% marks for quiz as the target. And now we check how many students are crossing this target, and thereby we define the levels: level 1, level 2 and level 3. In case of semester and exam, if 50 to 59% of the students cross the target, then we name it as level 1. Similarly, if 60 to 69% of the students cross the target, then we name it as level 2. And if 70 to 100% of the students cross the target, then we name it as level 3. Again, these values can be same for all the tools, or you can set different values for different tools. As in this case, we have set for CIE test 60 to 69% as level 1, 70 to 79% as level 2, 80 to 100% as level 3. Similarly, for assignments and quiz, 70 to 79% as level 1, 80 to 89% as level 2, 90 to 100% of the students as level 3. Now the important thing is these values are linked to all the annexure sheets. Just by changing the values here, we can change the values that are linked to the annexure sheets. Similarly, these targets values are also linked to the annexure sheets. So just by changing the values here, we can easily modify the target values which are linked to the annexure sheets. For example, in case of SEE, we have set 35% as the target marks. Now if you go to SE sheet and if you enter the maximum marks, for example 60, then 35% of the maximum marks is 21 marks. This will be the target marks for SE. Now the question is, on what basis we can select this target? There are different ways to select the target marks. The best way to set the target marks for SE tool is by knowing the university average marks of your course. But in case of affiliated colleges, mostly this information is not available at its constituent colleges. And another method is by knowing the class average marks of your course. But in this method, the target is relative to the class performance. So you can think of another method in which you first set 35% marks, that is just pass mark as your target. If the target is attained with respect to SEE marks with level 3, then for the next year you can increase your target marks by 5%, else you can retain the same target, and so on. Yet another method is to decide the target is in the meeting of assessment committee. Same target may be fixed to all the courses or it may vary. But the thing is, you have to provide proper justification for the selection of your target marks. Same way, you can set the target for your CIE test marks, assignments and quiz. The advantage of this workbook is it is sufficient if you set the targets here in this workbook, and the same targets will be updated to the respective places. Also, you can change the levels just by changing these values. Another important point in CO attainment calculation is setting the weightage for assessment tools. Normally 80 to 90% weightage is given to direct method and 20 to 10% weightage is given to indirect method. This indirect assessment is obtained through the course exit feedback or course exit surveys. The direct method involves mainly two components. One is internal marks and another is semester and exam marks. Normally 80% weightage will be given to the semester and exam and 20% weightage will be given to the internal marks. However, you can vary this with proper justifications. For example, out of 100 marks, if 40 marks is internal marks and 60 marks is external marks, that is semester and exam marks, then you may give 40 and 60 weightages for internal and semester and exams. Important is when you add these two rows, you should get 100%, and also when you add these two rows, you should get 100%. Now coming to the internal marks, this is how you give the weightage for various components. Suppose if quiz is not involved in your assessment tool, then you can give 0 weightage for that. If out of 40 marks, if 10 marks is for assignment and 30 marks for CIE test, then you can give weightage like this, that is 75% and 25% weightage. And you can change the weightages for the individual course outcomes. For example, for this internal test I am giving 0 weightage, and for this assignment I am giving 100% weightage. Because my CO5 involves L4 level, which cannot be measured by CIE test, and therefore it is measured only by using assignment. This assignment involves questions of higher Bloom's level, that is L4 level. So whenever you give assignments, there should be proper rubrics for evaluating your assignments. The assignments may be seminar, mini projects, etc. And in such a case, it cannot be measured by semester and exams, so I will make it 0, and it is measured by only by internal marks, which is nothing but assignments. And suppose you have not given assignment under course outcome 4, then you can make this 100% and you can make this 0. If quiz is also involved in your assessment, then you can give a lower weightage for quiz, because quiz usually involves lower Bloom's level. However, if the multiple choice questions are to be answered after solving the analytical questions, then you can give more weightage for the multiple choice questions. Suppose you have conducted only one quiz which involves all the course outcomes, then you can give equal weightage for all the course outcomes. Here important thing is, under each CO, sum of the three rows should be equal to 100%. Suppose internal marks of your course is 50 and SE marks is also 50, then you may give the weightages like this. That is 50% weightage for internal marks and 50% weightage for semester end exams. So in that internal marks, 50% 50 internal marks, if 20 marks is allocated for the test, then you can give 40% weightage for the test. And if 20 marks is allocated for the assignment, then you can give 40% weightage for the assignment. And if 10 marks is allocated for the quiz, then you can give 20% weightage for the quiz. So totally it is 100%. But again, it varies according to the assignment. If in a particular CO only the assignment is given, then you can make it 100 and you can make this 0, as well as it is measured by only using internal marks and not by the external marks. Like this, you can set any weightages for the assessment tools under each CO, and what weightage is to be set, that is left to you. Now we have finished all the settings in this assessment form, and next we will move on to the annexure sheets. First we will take up student list. First we have to type or copy paste the USN and student name. You can right click like this and paste by values. Remember, it is better to give paste by values. Now the serial numbers will appear automatically, and the same list is copied to all the annexure sheets like this. Let us take SE annexure sheet first. First we have to enter the maximum mark under SE. Now the target marks will be 21 because in the assessment form we have selected 35% as the target marks. If you make it 70%, then the target marks will be 42. As an example, I will enter the marks scored by 10 students. Assume that students have scored more than or equal to the target marks. That is, out of 10 students, all the students have crossed the target marks. So the percentage of students crossing the target marks is equal to 100. So the level attained will be equal to 3. Now I will make this as 10 marks. So he has not crossed the target. Still the level attained is 3 because 90% of the student crossed the target. Again I will make it 80%. Still the level attained is 3. Up to 70% the level attained will be equal to 3. We have defined that 60 to 69% the level attained is 2, and 50 to 59% the level attained is 1, and below 50% the level attained is 0. Same logic is used while calculating the level attainments from CIE test, assignment and quiz. Now let us go to CIE test. This is the CIE test result analysis sheet. Here we need to enter the marks scored by each student against each question. Assume that there are 6 questions in the first test, and question number 1 and 2 belong to part A, Question number 3 and 4 belong to part B. Question number 5 and 6 belong to part C. Here, student has to answer any one question from each part. If question number 1 belongs to CO1, then question number 2 also should belong to CO1. If question number 3 belongs to CO2, then question number 4 also should belong to CO2. Similarly, I will assume CO3 for question number 5 and 6. Now I will enter the maximum marks under each question. And the total marks is 30. Now the maximum mark under each CO will appear here. And the target marks for each CO will be equal to 7 because we have set 70% as our target with respect to CIE test. Now let us enter the marks scored by the students under each question. Now these are our attainments. If you examine CO1, 10 students have written the test and all the students have crossed the target marks. So the level attained is 3. Suppose a student has got less marks in CO1 like this. Now he has not crossed the target. Now out of 10 students, only 9 students have crossed the target and still the level attained is 3. In this case, out of 10 students, only 7 students have crossed the target and the level attained is 2. Like this, you can write the marks of second test here with question number 1, 2 like this. And here you have to write the CO numbers. If your question contains sub-questions, then you can insert the columns. Suppose there is 1A and 1B. You can write like this, 1A and 1B. Say marks here is 5 and here it is 5. And you need to enter the marks under each question. In the similar way, you can fill up the assignment marks. Under CO5, I am giving the assignment. So I will enter the maximum marks here. Total marks is 10. And here you have to enter the marks scored by the students under that assignment. If you have given assignment for all the COs, then you can enter the marks scored here. And finally, we need to enter the course exit feedbacks. This is the summary table. If you have taken feedback using Google Form, you can copy paste the feedbacks here. Here total 10 students have given the feedback and the levels are calculated using this particular formula. Once you are done with all the annexure sheets, again go to the assessment form. Here you have to update the calculations. Now this is the final attainment. Say I have set 2 as my CO target. This bar graph compares different course outcomes, and the red line shows the target. These are the contributions of course outcome for the program outcome attainments. This from internal assessment, from CIE combined direct attainment method, like that. This is the final PO attainment contribution from the course, and these are the PSO attainments. This table gives the difference between attained value and target value with respect to course outcomes. So this is the gap. Here all the courses have crossed the target, so the gap is positive. So there is improvement. If any CO is not attained, then you have to write the action plan here to achieve the same in the next year. You can take printout of this sheet. And even you can take printout of any of these. This is the PDF format of the same sheet. So if you have any changes in the target and levels, just you can change it here. And these values are linked to all the annexure sheets. Thank you so much for watching. Please give your feedbacks, or if you have any queries, or if you want to personalize this workbook according to your requirements, please contact me. Thank you.